Hello, everybody. This is Justin from Breakout Couple Adventures. It is Saturday, the 17th of January, 2026. I'm going to start with TYM, which has had a stellar, absolutely fantastic week, hasn't it? So this is one where we gave that blue box reversal zone down here at 0.0476 down to 0.0392, which was correct. And in fact, we gave that before in the prior blue box there, which again was a correct call. We gave the tops there and, another correct call. Lots of correct calls there. Well, my first target there was this grade box now. I've made it a grade box because I think that this is, we've definitely got more upside, in my opinion. Where do I think this is heading? Well, I think that this red box here is going to be in play. I should have made that blue, shouldn't I, really? But so for me, I think the first point of call here is 0.147 up to 0.1735 up to 0.2. And I think 0.2 is probably realistic where it's headed at the short term. But if they can drop some good news, which, they've got potentially, some drill results out. It's a tiny market cap. It's around £4 million. It's got some, potential stellar silver assets. So, and there's drill results outstanding. There's going to be further drilling results due once we start drilling again. So I've got another target, which, I think, our first point of call is going to be up to there. But then I can see this other red box coming into play. And this is really exciting for me because, I think, we're going to see hopefully a run up to there. We might see a bit of turbulence around this 0.20 level, probably a bit of a pullback there. And then I think we're going to have another run up to that red box zone there at 0.456 up to 0.572. And then I do have another red box all the way up here. So I think that then, we'll probably see a bit of a pullback there. And we could. It depends what the results are, that come out of the company. But, we've got two TR1 holders. These are well-researched individuals. I believe there's another TR1 coming out next week. There's a lot of people who have bought a lot of stock in this share. And the next point of call will be 2.59 up to 3.29 pence. Wow. That's a lot of bags, potentially. But, I think the first point of call, obviously, is, and we are in a bull market, and I've got to stress that. So in a bull market, we should be touching the top of these boxes. So at least, and as we've seen with other mining firms like OMI and many, many others, it's hit the top of the boxes and continue to run. So, that's what I'm kind of expecting with TYM. So first point of call, 0.2. Then I think this next run box is 0.456 up to 0.572. And then we'll reassess the situation. So, but certainly the chart is suggesting there's potentially an awful lot more upside in TYM. So worth popping on your watch list, do some research. GSCU is my next one, another silver play. And I am so bullish on silver. I think silver is going to be massive for 2026. 2027, 2028, but but we'll stick to short term. For me, it just needs to break this 4.2, which I think is inevitable. It's got huge amounts of drilling done, completed. They've extended the amount of drilling that they did. They had 3 rigs turning instead of 2. They're planning to do a lot more drilling throughout the year. It's recently been capitalised, which is great. And if by the looks of it, pretty much most of those people who took the place and have held on to it. So, that's a really good sign and really unusual. Normally speaking, you have to get a massive amount of churn to clear it before we can go again. But, so first point of call, Great Southern Copper is, I think 4.8 up to 5.5, but it depends. If we can break that high there at 5.2, we only need to slip a little nose above it. And that's going to activate this bigger red box zone here, which I've had for a long time. And I think that's really where we're going to be headed. And as I say, we're in a bull market. So, I think that we should be touching, 6.1 would be the first sort of resistance level. There's 7.3, but I think we're going to go to 8.85, which, I think if we get there, it's going to go to 10p. It's got to, hasn't it? 10p at least, and then go again. So that's a Great Southern Copper. I think that's a great one to take a look at and do some research. Next one I'm going to do is OMI. And this one, absolutely fantastic, isn't it? we had that at 2.8p, although I didn't buy, sadly. Then we had this 8.52 down to 6.9, correct call, and it's continuing higher. And we had that 19.4 down to 17.4, where it's recently capitalized. So there's no risk of a capital raise at the moment. But where's that headed? Well, I've got that grey box there at 40.2, but I think you can ignore that. I think it's inevitable for me that we're going to head up to 46.3. I think that's going to be your first sort of resistance level, 58.4, then 73.6. And I can see it going much higher than that. If you sort of go out, the COVID high was 46.5. So, I think that's going to be where we're heading at least. And then, the all-time high, where is that? If I just flip to the weekly, that is 97p. It's got to go there, hasn't it? With what's on offer there, it's just it's crazy. It's this cheap, 29 pence. I mean, but it's been on it was down to sub 2p. I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they're saying how they were struggling to raise capital at the 2 pence level. And now look, people want to throw money at the So to me, really bullish. I think there's at least a bag in that, and I potentially 3, 4, and I still think that would be conservative. But I know Barron Investments has said sort of £2. I think that's probably realistic. But let's get to that into that red box and see how we're going from there. HREE is my next one, and this is one where we gave that in our other podcast during the week. I had that blue box reversal zone at 1.43 down to 1.17, which is correct call. Yeah, it's a correct call. So for me, we've only had one wave to the upside. We've broken that prior high, so now we're in a bullish momentum. For me, we just need to go and break this prior high at 2.5. It's got lots of news due. It's a transformational year ahead, according to the company. So, where do I think it's headed? Well, 2.88, but we're in a bull market. So we've got to smash 2.8, 3.3, should smash 3.3, and 3.84 is where I think that's going to be headed. So that's at least a bag from where it is at the moment. So HREE, worth putting on your watch list, seeing what it's all about. UFO is my next one. And Alien Metals, which is another silver play. And I'm bullish on silver, very bullish on silver. And it's in a blue box reversal zone, recently capitalized. And this is looking good. It's got to get some good news out there. But I was speaking to somebody the other day, they're saying that the current assets underpin the price at the moment. Nothing else is priced in. So, this has potentially got a lot of upside, in my opinion, and to me, it's due another leg to the upside. We've had this wave one. If I can just get that up, we've had wave one here. We've had a corrective phase, and now we're due another wave to the upside. And where do I think that's headed? Well, I think 0.33 is sort of first point of call, but I think we could go all the way up to 0.5p. So that's a lot of bags from where it is at the moment. So UFO, definitely pop on your watch list, do some research. Rock is my next one, and this one it had a bit of a run during the week, didn't it? It shot up and it sold off, but then it's gone back up. For me, again, this is long-term reversal zones. We gave this blue box down here, which is correct call. We've had one leg to the upside. We've had a corrective phase again. It's tagged my blue box reversal zone down there. And, for me, I think it's inevitable that, given some good news, it's going to go and smash this prior high at 0.33. And we're going to activate this red box here at first point of call at 0.4, basically 0.5, 0.6. So again, a lot of bags potentially in rock. So worth doing some research on that one. Alba is my next one, a chart request. This one, I've covered it off just recently, but I had that. It should have been a blue box reversal zone, which has reacted positively too. But for me, really, we need to see some bull step in here, break that downtrend there, and my first point of call would be 0.0526 up to 0.0642, possibly higher, but I think it needs to break that blue box, do a bit of consolidating and then go again. So that's Alba. UJO, Union Jack. Goodness me, I haven't cooked this one off for a long time. But it's in a long-term reversal zone, 2.73, volumes up. It looks kind of good. I think first point of call here is 3.71. That's that gap fill. A lot of traders will be headed for that. So, beware that profit taking will be taken there. But for me, where do I think that's headed? Well, if the company's got good news, and it's not one that I've researched for a long time, I must admit, it's oil, and not really bullish on oil. However, that might change, with what's going on in the Middle East. I mean, anything could change, particularly with what's going on now geopolitically. It's absolute madness. Oil could suddenly become massively bullish again. But I have got this red box here at 6.96 to 8.26 and 9.94. Sorry. So potentially UJO, a lot of bags, but need to clear that gap fill first. I think it's a bit of profit taking, and then if the company's got some bullish information to come out, and from that, I must point out as well, that from that blue box we would expect at least a three-wave bounce to the upside. So that red box does look possible. Next we're going to do is ATM, and this one here we've called absolutely bang on, haven't we? For a long while. We had that up at sort of 4 or 5p. We were calling it down to 2.56 for a reversal play, and indeed we have been absolutely spot on. We've had three ways to the upside. I said for a long time we were headed to 4.9 and 5.6. It's tanked the bottom of that box. It's a pretty good call, eh? It sold off a bit, but where do I think that's headed? Well, I think there's more upside in ATM. Tin price is absolutely flying, and I think if my first point of call there would probably 5.6, probably up to then 7 pence. But then, it wouldn't be take too much from there to then start to put this upper red box, which I've talked about many times. So it could be possible, if tin continues its run, and tin plays haven't really followed. So as yet, well, not this one, but 10.95 up to 13.2. So potentially a lot of reward in ATM as well. So worth doing some research. GGP is my next one. I hadn't covered this off last time, but covered it off today. Where do I think that's heading? Well, that's unfortunately all my drawings sort of got taken away with when they did their share price, 10 for 1, whatever it was. But where do I think that's headed? I can't remember, but I'm sure I've had that as a long-term target. But I've made it a blue box. Shouldn't quite be blue, actually. Should still be red. It's not actually active, but I think that's where it's going to be headed. So 864 up to 1072 and possibly 1336. Bull market. Gold's flying. Why not? That's probably where it's headed. TEK is my next one, and just get that one up. Tekcapital. Do you know what? That's a good one. That was in the long-term reversal zone down there, 9.12 down to 6.44, which I gave a long time ago. When was that? Sort of back in 2023. Yeah, God, it's taken a long time to play out. But, it's got an active blue box there. I think this is where it's headed next. 14.5, 16.1, 18.15. Pretty good. Well done. FAR is my next one, and just get that one up. Now this one here, it's struggling to get out of my long-term reversal zone there at 10.35. Needs to break that, but I do have a couple of targets here. So if I just go to my first one, 10.25, which is actually the top of my long-term reversal zone, so probably 10.3. I think you might see a bit of resistance at that, so probably might go up to 11.4, have a bit of a squiggle around there, and then hopefully, if the news is good out of the company, or vanadium prices indeed do have a run, which I haven't looked at the vanadium price, so maybe that's on a run. It's one of those commodities that goes on crazy runs at times. It's probably overdue one, actually, so could be worth having a look. But my next point of call was 17.45 up to 20.9 pence, so worth doing some research on that one. KIST is my next one, KIST, and this one here is, this is a really good one. it's broken that prior high here at 200 pence basically, and so we are active to this blue box here at 252 up to 281 and possibly 318. So I think it's an oil play, isn't it? I don't know whether it's got some gas as well. It's not one I can recall from memory, but if, as I say, if oil goes bullish, which with what's going on could possibly do, then top of that box. And I know the company's had some transformational news as such. So 252 to 281, I think is nailed on. But 318 and possibly higher, who knows? So I think Barron Investments is in it, so yeah, that's always a good sign. So worth following. Next one I'm going to do is EME, and another chart request. If I get that up. Now, EME, I love the chart. That's a beautiful chart. And we're in a reversal zone at 0.0474 all the way down to 0.0162. So you've got to bear that in mind. It's within that blue box, but it could still drop an awful lot from where it is at the moment. I'd want to see it hold above 0.0172. So I think that should be the floor. It's a tiny market cap as well. I think it's about £2 million. But if they could drop some good news, and I know that they've got a dispute going on with the company. If that turns out to be positive, then you're going to be talking 0.1635 up to 0.2 and possibly 0.252. So a lot of potential reward in that one. However, you've got a risk there of probably losing 50% of your money. So worth doing some research. I'm not too sure what other assets they've got. It's one of those ones which I was going to do some research and I haven't, but hopefully I'll try and do that in the near future. Jan is my next one, and let's get that one up. This is one which we called last time. I had that squiggly line calling it up to this blue box where it was red, but we've hit that and as I say, look, bull market, we've broken up above that. So these boxes get tagged right at the top and higher. For me, it's a bit of a tricky one. It hasn't got a blue box reversal zone. So it could quite easily run again. But really, I want to see some more trading data on that one before I can give another target. So please do ask me again in a few weeks' time. Next one to do is UOG, United Oil and Gas. I've said before, that it's a bit of serial disappointment, hasn't it, that one? But, it needs to break this prior high at 0.26 to activate this red box here at 0.35. 0.35 up to 0.47. But it's still in the long-term reversal zone at 0.85. So, a long way to go to get to that. The company needs to give out some good news. But, it's not a bad corrective move there. So, possibly that could be around the bottom, that 0.1 level. So, hopefully, it's just say break that to high there, activates that red box there. There we go. Ajax is my next one. And another one that is an Aquis stock. These Aquis stocks have been flying of late, haven't they? You need to open an IG account in order to trade them. But I've got that. I've got a blue box there at 10.39 up to 11.96. I think you're going to see a bit of consolidation here before it goes again. So for me, I want to see a bit more trading data. Once I've had a bit more trading data, then hopefully can run again. But it's a really bullish chart. So it looks really good. Want to lock away as long as you've done your research, lock away, hold it. But it's going to be a bumpy ride. Next one I'm going to do is 1SN, and this is my final one for the day. First 10. And this is one where I said, look, this just shows that we're in a bull market. Bull markets, they exceed the top of these boxes. I should have made that box bigger, but so 8.6 is 11.1, smashed it. I did say Barron Investments is in it. It's gone all the way up to 16 pence. Personally speaking, I'd want to see a bit of a pullback in that one. I don't have a target. What can I say? Really well done to those who took that trade. Been a fantastic run, and hopefully that can continue. Tin prices are still melting up, so who's to say that can't continue? Bit like OMI, it'll just run. There you go. That's me for Saturday. Back again soon.